So, Ben, what is your take on an American senator weighing in on this foreign issue? We already know that Beijing has told Ben Cardin to basically butt out.
Accurate that Hong Kong may be afforded some kind of special distinction in trade and economic issues that has nothing to do with violent protests that are taking place. Not to side with the Chinese here, but this is a domestic issue that's happening in China. It's a Chinese issue, and the U.S. really should have no involvement in it. You see U.S. flags being carried by protesters. We know that there have been meetings between high-level U.S. officials and these protesters. And in Manila, if we take a step back from that and just say, well, what would happen in the United States where people decided to protest and not even shut down an airport, just protesting down the streets in Ferguson? We saw military vehicles, we saw tear gas fired, we saw people being arrested. But the idea that the Chinese government should have basically a hands-off position when it comes to protesters in their own country, the U.S. should butt out of it. It's none of our business. No Western nation would ever tolerate what's happening in Hong Kong right now. We would never tolerate protesters throwing bombs or weapons at police officers. That would never happen in this country and be allowed to happen. It would not be allowed to happen to shut down an international airport. It would not take place. And you're telling me that if that happened here in the U.S., there would not be a heavy-handed response, that protesters would not be zip-tied, beaten, and dragged away? It would happen here. So there is an enormous double standard when U.S. politicians start standing up and pointing fingers and saying, you better not do anything about these protesters because it demonstrates that you guys are an oppressive regime, because every other country would do it too.